Perhaps we offer physical shelter to others, taking folks into our homes, working for Habitat, serving at God's kitchen. We sometimes shelter others inside of us. Think of it, sexually. The most intimate sheltering we can do. Perhaps we offer emotional, psychological, or spiritual shelter, whether as therapists, social workers, or spiritual companions, befrienders, or friends. Here at this church, we're focusing all year long on shelter, taking refuge. Minister and musician Fred Small reminds us that Buddhists take refuge in what they call the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is the teacher, the Dharma is the teaching, and the Sangha is the spiritual community. He continues, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are interdependent and mutually reinforcing. And this congregation is a Sangha, a spiritual community. I hope those bells are early, because my clock doesn't chime up with noon. Early? They are early? All right, good. I was going to have to do some quick skipping. This congregation is a Sangha. Here we teach one another, we learn from one another, we encourage each other to spiritual growth, and sometimes we drive each other crazy, which also encourages spiritual growth, he says. This community, I say, which aspires to be a house of prayer for all people, a house of connection, if we accept the definition offered by my Jewish friend, this community, too, is a sukkah and a sangha. Or to borrow from the Persians, the people of Rumi, a caravanserai, a place for travelers to rest, to renew, and to go back into their travels. What all of these images, the Sangha, the Sukkah, and the Caravanserai have in common is that they shelter travelers and that they elicit something from those people who stay there. A sense of gratitude, a sense of communion, and a sense of humility. Our focus this year on shelter can and will take many forms. The Art Prize installation here, as Fred already mentioned, contains pieces that were selected that specifically address issues of shelter, from internment camps for Japanese Americans, to survivors of domestic violence, to a healing shrine, to a piece collaboratively created with youth staying at St. John's Home for Children. This community is embodying its commitment as a shelter to art, which is really about being a shelter for beauty and truth and goodness. A couple of weeks ago, I went on a walk with our Fountain Clubbers, our high school youth group. We split up in various places around the church to take photographs of ways we might be of service in our local community. And the group that I walked with went down South Division, taking pictures of various things, dégagé ministry, the gay bar to pay attention to homophobia in our community. And as we had turned around and were walking back north on Division towards the church, the four young men were in front of me, and there was somebody from behind me who shouted, "Hey, you!" I wasn't too sure what to think, but I thought, well, my training in Youth Service Opportunities Project, the service projects we do in New York and DC, says pay attention to the people that you're serving. So I thought, okay, I'll pay attention. I turned around and a young man caught up to me and said, "Hey, don't worry, I don't want anything from you. I just wonder what you guys are doing." So I told him. He said, "Oh, that's cool. You got $1?" His eyes looked a little bit crazed. The youth that I was with continued to walk, and I continued to walk kind of between the two of them, between them and he, rather. I said, "Actually, I don't have any cash. I'm sorry." "Ah, it's okay." He kept walking. "You know, my girlfriend got diagnosed with cancer. She's getting treatment tomorrow." "Oh," I said. "I'm sorry." That's all right. And we kept walking. You got $1? I stopped and looked at him and I said, no, I don't. I don't have any money. I'm sorry. My girlfriend got diagnosed with cancer yesterday. She's getting treatment. I'm worried. I'm really sorry, I said. I really have to go. But I hope you find strength. And I hope she finds healing. We looked at each other for a moment. And then I kept walking. Until a few seconds later, from behind me, I heard the voice again. Hey! I turned around and looked at him. And he did that. That's a rare instance of me living into my highest values. Taking the time to actually stop and listen. To not let my fear of another permeating my space, of their story becoming wound up in mine, of my life becoming tangled instead of neat and tidy. To not let that keep me from offering and receiving shelter from someone else. And my conviction is that each and every one of us has the opportunity to do that each day. That not only is the message of Sukkot a message of our infinite gratitude and dependence upon a universe that is filled with grace, but also that we are responsible for offering that grace to the universe. We are vehicles. We are sukkahs. We can offer shelter with our words, with our arms, or we can close the door and walk away. And so my charge to you, as we leave the sanctuary today, is to leave looking for that space where you can be shelter. And acknowledging the spaces where you need shelter. It's not one or the other. The Christian recording artist Michael W. Smith sang a song about the Exodus called "Everywhere I Go, I See You." And he references the image of the God of Israel leading people through the desert with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. He says, "Everywhere I go, I see you. The cloud by day and the night, the glow of a burning flame. I know the promised land is light years ahead of me. But everywhere I go, I see you. And so may we too, everywhere we go, see the face of the holy, the hands of the holy, and be them for the world." Amen.